Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome to Prowess Projects Live that we do each Wednesday. I'm going to give it a second and let everyone come in. Hello, Nancy. Hey, Jay, Amber, Jordan. 1, 2, 3. Not sure who you are, but loving it, loving it. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Good to see all of you. Happy Wednesday. A prowess project, we're having quite the day. Leah and I usually meet on Wednesdays to talk about just where we're going, what we're doing, and branding stuff. We dove into all of that today. Oh, good, she's on here now. And I'm driving away from the coffee shop, get a nail in my tire. Oh, of course, right, right. Absolutely. So have to go take a pit stop on the way home to a tire place. There was no parking there. By the grace of universe, whomever we want to say, I got in, got the whole tire sorted, whatever. Then I get a text from Leah right before this, and she's on here now. She's like, locked out of my house. I'm like, oh. So between the two of us, we're really firing on all cylinders today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. But as always, it's good to see all of you. Glad we're all here. Leah, if you don't mind, in the two Facebook channels, do you mind just tagging at everyone that, hey, we've gotten started and sending over the Zoom link? Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are also streaming on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. I think that's it for today. So that being said, today we are talking all about the top 5 skills that you need to brush up on to be an OBM come 2023. So taking a step back, as always, if there's any newcomers in the group, first to kick things off, I want to hear from all of you. What are your holiday plans? What do you have planned? And this could be anything from extravagant, I am traveling the world, to I hope to not get out of my bed and watch all of the holiday movies possible. So let's hear it in the chat. I want to know what you are up to. I will be getting new tires. So that's my holiday. No, not at all. No. No, I know. And the guy was like, oh, do you want to upgrade these tires? Like, nope, sure, nope. Factory is good for me. Like, let's just go through this. All right. Love it. Oh, good. 2 daughters are coming to visit. We're in the chat just sharing some of the things that are happening over the holidays. 2 college-age daughters are coming to visit Nancy and stay a few days. Awesome. Amber, I like to stay in bed and watch movies. That's a plan. Ooh, love, love, love. Olympic National Forest. Okay, Reese, that's amazing. Oh, your birthday, or your oldest's birthday is on the 28th. So great family gathering. Staying alone with my pup at home in London this year. Okay. Love, 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 love. I want to hear more of where you are in London. I lived there for a bit and absolutely loved it. I would go back in a heartbeat. I will be spending a lot of my time in the car, so I guess it's good that I got tires this holiday season. We're going to my husband's family and then going to my mom, and so it's just going to be a crazy driving all throughout Texas. So that being said, we're going to get into the content real quickly. Who am I? What is Prowess Project? So welcome. I'm Ashley Connell, CEO and founder of Prowess Project. What Prowess Project is we help women either return to the workforce or pivot in their careers, mainly in online business management. So what does that mean and how do you do that? We built out an online platform where women come onto our platform, they do upskilling, networking, interact in the community. We're gathering hundreds of data points on skills, expertise, work style, communication style, use all of that data to match them up with ideal employers and get them jobs. So, what was the problem that we saw, and why did we get this started? This was at this point about 5 years ago. I saw the horrific Harvard Business Review statistic that if a woman is out of the workforce for just 3 years, she loses a total of 37% of her compensation power if she is caregiving. And I thought that that was absolutely ridiculous. And this in the US happens to 43% of women. So, teamed up with the lovely Leah Steinkirk, our COO, our true implementer to my visionary, and we built Prowess Project to help solve this problem. What we heard over and over and over again from these women who wanted to return or needed help figuring out their career is that they didn't have a linear career journey. It was more of a patchwork quilt, meaning they did some marketing, some sales, some tech, some ops, some HR, and they're trying to figure out, how do I take all of this that I've learned, all of this that I've done, all of the certifications, all of the training, all of my degrees, all of these things, and turn it into a career. And that's when we realized, oh my gosh, there is a massive opportunity for these women to be online business managers. And it's what they were all coming to us saying that they wanted to do, but there wasn't really a term and we hadn't put it all together. So, what is an OBM? I talked about it a little bit as far as what Leah is the implementer to my visionary. And OBM is the systems creator, the process creator, the operator for any business. So when there is typically the CEO or the leader who's out being the visionary, being the subject matter expert, fulfilling what the business does, whether that's consulting, coaching, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, those expertise, you need someone who is really the backbone of the business running the business. And we hear from women all the time, like, oh my gosh, wow, I did that for my school, or oh my gosh, wow, I did that for my place of worship, or oh my gosh, I volunteered at a nonprofit and did that, or oh, my husband has a business or partner has a business and I helped with this. So you're doing it. Now let's figure out how to make money from that, right? Let's make that your career trajectory, because we know we can do it. We know it's possible. And we want you to have the value and have the, and get the gravitas that you deserve because of all of these amazing things that you're doing. All right. So, what we're talking about today is the top 5 skills that you need to brush up on being an OBM. Top 5 skills that you need to brush up to be an OBM if you want to hit the ground running on January 1st. Okay. So before I get started, any questions there about what we talked about, what we're doing, who we are, why we do what we do? Any questions? Fantastic. All right. So, why are we talking about this today? Obviously, we are 2 weeks out to January 1st. And I don't want all of you falling into the same trap that I see myself fall into and see a lot of people fall into that we try and help, is you have all these grand plans for January, right? Like oh my gosh, I am a whole new person comes January 1. But you do no planning in December in order to hit the ground running and set yourself up for success on January 1st so you can really make all of those career trajectories happen. Now, that doesn't sound like a big deal, right? Like, oh, okay, so I'm a little bit behind, or oh, maybe I'll start figuring things out on January 1st. But what ends up happening oftentimes, and it's very subconscious, or at least this is what we're hearing, is when you don't have that plan and you're not starting to work that plan on January 1st or January 2nd, you already feel behind. So then you already feel flustered. So then you already feel like, oh my gosh, I should have had all of this figured out. What was I doing? Why didn't I get this sorted in November? Why didn't I plan that out? Why didn't I get the people around me that I needed to make all of this happen? So we're talking about this today because you have 2 weeks, and in between those times of hanging out with family or watching those movies or whatever it is, take some time for yourself to brush up on these 5 different skills that we are seeing over and over again. Coaches are asking for, and we know OBMs, online business managers, need. So, number 1, top skill, automations. So what does that mean? We are hearing over and over again from coaches that they're like, I just need to make my business and running my business easier. I want my life easier. I want running the business easier. So what does that mean? I need less human error. So I and my team are not fighting fires all the time, but instead we have the confidence that all of our systems, all of our tech is going to talk to each other and really bring up the efficiency so we can scale. Okay, so how do you do that? You take all of the different tools that that your client as an OBM is using, and you need to figure out ways that they can all talk to each other. All right, so that's number one. Number two, the second one that we hear over and over and over again is Excel. Is Excel. So the subject matter experts or the consultants or coaches, whomever come to us who are looking for OBMs, and again, it's that same thing that I was saying before. They just want the data. They just want the information. They don't care how it gets done, and they know that dashboards and technology, or dashboards and information and numbers come out of Excel, but they don't want to be the person, and they don't have the time to figure out how to make all those reports, how to do the VLOOKUPs, how to do the macros, whatever that looks like. They want someone else to be that whiz in Excel to make it all happen. And when they ask for that information, hey, Leah, what is the forecasting for X, Y, and Z on this date? Are we going to be okay for cash? Then they want to make sure someone else understands that, can do that, and can just give them the information. The how is not important. So they will just say over and over again, Excel skills, need those Excel skills. So that's number two. Number three, demand generation. Demand generation. I hear this all the time. So we talked about at the beginning how the OBM is the systems person, is the process person. But what I love that I'm seeing out in the market is that they're not just a, hey, let's make sure everything is talking to each other. Okay, let's make sure all the systems are in place. But now they are leaning forward. The OBMs are leaning forward and saying, hey, client, the coach or consultant, we could increase your cash, we could increase your profit, we could increase your revenue by doing X, Y, and Z. And how do we do that? We need to get more leads. And how do we do that? We need to figure out who your leads are, who your ideal leads are, and how do we get more of them. So really diving deep into what is demand generation, what are the top ways that you could make this happen, what are the technologies that you can use to make this happen and make this as streamlined as possible. What is that? And how do you help the coach get exactly what the coach or the consultant wants, which is an easier transition to revenue, right? That is what demand generation is. Okay. So that's number three, demand generation. Number four, CRMs. CRMs, customer relationship management platforms. I'm hearing that all the time. I've said this a lot, but Leah and I have had 100 different conversations with independent coaches and consultants. And I would go to say, Leah, correct me if I'm wrong, 50%, maybe 60% do not have a CRM in place right now, aside from Excel, which let's go back to the Excel skills we were talking about before, but want one. And every time, and they look at me like I'm judging. I'm absolutely no judging. We had an Excel doc forever for a CRM, but I'm hearing all the time that, oh yes, I know I need a CRM. Oh yes, I know my life would be so much easier. Oh yes, I know that I would be able to really be focused if I had a CRM. I just need someone to come in, set it up, implement it, and make sure I use it, and make sure it fits in with all the systems, and make sure the data is correct. So I say these are skills that you need to brush up on, because what I'm hearing is the consultants and coaches who are really going to take their business to the next level and who are going to need OBMs are going to be looking to people like you to either up-level their CRM, bring on a CRM, or help them with whatever they already have and make sure that it's connected to all of their other systems and all of their other data. All right. So that is number four. And number five, arguably my favorite, because if you brush up on this skill, you can do the rest. Okay. If you brush up on this skill, you can do the absolute rest. And this skill is a little bit more touchy-feely. Conviction. Number five is conviction. So why is that skill or why do we want to double down on conviction moving forward in 2023? So reason why this is because when I'm talking to these consultants and coaches, they say all the time, say all the time that they want someone who deeply understands their business, who is almost more of an expert in their business than they are. Someone who deeply understands the ins and outs and keeps all of that in their brain so they don't have to, and they can be figuring out, how do I generate more money to grow my business, to grow my team, to grow my OBM so I can put more money in my pocket and my team's pocket. Okay. So having conviction, deeply caring, and niching down to a certain type of client is going to be huge in 2023. Why is this even more important for 2023? Layoffs. We're hearing about this left and right? Technology companies in particular, at least that's what we're seeing a lot of, but it's definitely beyond just technology companies. They are laying people off by the tens of thousands. So what does that mean for you? There is going to be a ton of people who are out in the market looking for jobs. There's going to be a ton of people who are coming off of the COVID craziness, who are coming off of a layoff, coming off of working for big corporations that are like, maybe I want to have more impact. Maybe I want to work for a smaller business. Maybe I want to dive into what that could look like instead of what I was doing before. So that is what you're up against. That is a different competition. So, how do you make sure that you stand out? You have the training, right, that you need. You have the expertise that you need. You understand deeply what your ideal client or ideal customer, that coach, that consultant, that subject matter expert really needs, and how you as the OBM are going to solve their problem and solve the problems that they didn't even know that they had, but you're just going to put it all out there so that their job gets easier and easier and easier. But the good news is, those people who maybe are laid off, or the vast majority of everyone else, for these next 2 weeks, they're going to be hanging out. Whereas you are going to be brushing up on all of these skills that we're talking about. You're going to come out ahead. You are going to start investing in courses. You're going to start investing your time into learning these different things, these different technologies and skills that I discussed. So I want to make sure that you understand, like, hey, this is the market. There could be a lot of other people out there, but by you putting that stake in the ground and saying, I am going to be an online business manager, this is what my expertise in that is going to be. This is who I am going to serve. And this is what your problem is, person that I am going to serve. And I am the person to make sure that you do that. You're going to come out well ahead of the people who are just getting started in this. All right. So really quickly, the 5 top skills that you really need to double down on in the next 2 weeks in order to kick things off on January 1st, so that you get the absolute best job scenario, etc. Number 1, automations, right? We talked about that. Automations, making sure you get rid of as much human error as possible and make sure all of the information and content talk to each other. Number 2, Excel skills. They don't care how it gets done, but they know that it needs to be in Excel. They know that it's the number crunching. They know that, hey, this is going to make their business and life easier. And by you knowing those Excel skills, you're going to be well ahead of the pack. Number 3, demand generation. How are you going to get more qualified leads in front of your coach, client, subject matter expert who they want to talk to? CRM. How is all of their leads going to be organized so they know who to go after and they can forecast in the future? Hey, this is how much revenue I think is coming in at which time. And then number 5, conviction. It is going to be so important for you to really dive into exactly the type of companies you want to serve, clients you want to serve, what their problems are, how they're thinking about things, what their goals are, and really get into their mind so you can best serve them. All right. So those are the 5. Okay. We have a little bit of time left. I am going to open it up to some questions. So feel free to put questions in the chat, or if you are on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, in the comments, and I will be able to see those as well. So first, Nancy asked, will the next 2 weeks be enough time to get caught up on everything that you need to brush up on? Absolutely not. But we're lifelong learners. That's what OBMs are. And Nancy, because we've had such a great conversation, I know that you are too. So I have no worry that you're going to be able to come in with flying colors. But what I don't want to see you happen, or see happen to any of you, is not have a plan and then get flustered when January 1st comes. Are you going to be expert in all those 5 different things come January 1? No. Because I want you spending time with your daughters. I want you spending time with your family. I want you to be relaxing, but you do need this plan in order to make that happen. Okay? Does that answer your question, Nancy? Awesome. All right, Reese, could you describe the type of companies looking for OBMs? Absolutely. So like I said, we've spoken to over 100, and typically these are online coaches. So these could be business coaches, these could be health coaches, these could be mindset coaches, career coaches, mainly who serve their population online, whether they're selling products, whether they're setting courses, whether they're doing consulting of some sort. That is one group. Another would be consultants in general, meaning, hey, my expertise is learning and development, and I go into companies and I help them set up their learning and development structure, their systems, all of these different things, and that's my business. But I need someone, or that's my expertise, but I need someone running that business behind the curtains, right? Like, what is my demand generation making that happen? And what we're seeing happen over and over again is these solopreneurs, so entrepreneurs who are really a one woman, one man show, are these big consultants, and they are starting their own side coaching business where they're then going and offering their expertise one to many versus one to one, and they need OBMs in order to run that side of the business. So does that make sense? I'm also hearing, this was lately, subject matter experts that we think of, like doctors, lawyers, dentists, even they are needing online business managers to help them with all of the back of the house as well. So I'm hearing that a lot too. All right. Any other questions? Awesome. 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 I think we're good. Okay. Well, so great to chat with all of you. I want to remind you that if everything that I was sharing today may feel a little bit overwhelming, like, how am I going to tackle all of these things? How am I going to tackle all of these skills, but also put it into um a structure, a process, and a rollout for a client, a coach, a consultant, a doctor, a lawyer, whomever who may need it. I wanted to remind you about Prowess Project's online business management certification and why we are doing that. Just like we are saying to all of you, we are, as Prowess Project, niching down significantly and helping women become these online business managers. And the difference that we are really dedicated in putting out there is everything that we are teaching. We are teaching from the coach and consultant's mindset, what they would want, what their struggles are, and what concept, tools, and skills you're going to need, and how you prove your ROI to them, your return on investment. So they're coming back to you over and over again, and you become an integral part of their business. So, Leah, if you don't mind, can you put the she's so good. If you have questions about the OBM certification, please let us know. But again, we have designed that in so that we are not only telling you, hey, these are the skills, this is how you go learn it, but also the why and the how behind it, which is so critical in the real world. What we have seen several times before is you can absolutely learn all of these things on your own, and we encourage that, right? We encourage you absolutely go learn these things. But rabbit holes are real. And if you're trying to get a job yesterday, this can be really hard. So we want to help as much as possible. So, any questions about certification, about holidays, about OBMs, about careers, about anything before we wrap up today? Leah, anything that I should have mentioned today that I didn't about those 5 skills, given you are the true expert, and do not feel like you have to. Um, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I love it. I love it. I love it. And for those who couldn't hear Leah through Zoom and StreamYard, if I may, Leah, just to sum up what you said, really how important conviction is, and how important it is that you're staying positive, ditch the imposter syndrome. You absolutely can do this because the patchwork quilt is valuable. And like I said, I've spoken to 100 different people who could potentially need OBMs at some point of their business. And I'm hearing it over and over and over again that they want this, they need this, they see the value in the all of the breadth of experience that you have, and they also see the value of people who are caregivers who want to pivot into this because, direct quote, a caregiver does more before breakfast than oftentimes a professional does in a week. So um, all right. Well, if y'all have no other questions in the chat, we are gonna hop off for today. And yeah, have a great rest of your Wednesday. Leah, good to see that you made it inside the house. Fingers crossed I will have a car soon. Details. All right, y'all. Have a good one.